Well, hello everyone. This is David L. Gordon, and I have another strange Canadian story for you tonight. This one's about Archibald Stansfeld Belaney, otherwise known as Grey Owl. He was born in England and became famous in the 1930s for promoting wilderness preservation, while all the time falsely claiming to be of indigenous ancestry. This is one of those stories where you have to wonder about, is lying really that bad? We'll find out when we hear the story of Grey Owl.
In the woods, spitting tall tales, dressed in a myth, wearing beaver pelt sails. Words dripped honey, a forest parade. Truth bent like branches, but the point won't stay. He's the Barnum of the Beaver. Truth we all believe, sir. Spin the yarn, weave it tight. Turn the wrong into right. P.T. with a hat, circus lights in his eyes, made lions dance, sold dreams in disguise. Grey owls whispers, the wild's faint hymn. Barnum with a paddle, nature's phantom limb. Stories ain't numbers, they spark like flint. Dry hearts catch fire, stats barely glint. A shadow in a roaring blaze. Showmanship smoke left us amazed. He's the Barnum of the Beaver, a truth deceiver, achiever. His tales might stray, but they pave the way. Crafted soul. Truth's a tricky beast, hard to hold. From the woods to the stage, they believed. Barnum of the Beaver, the hearts he thieved.
Archie Belaney arrived in Canada with a suitcase full of books, a head full of dreams, and not a clue how to trap a beaver. He'd read about the noble savage in dusty English libraries and decided he'd become one. Never mind that he was born in Hastings and couldn't tell a moose from a milk cow. He took to the bush like a duck to dry land. His first winter near Temagami nearly killed him. He tried to build a wigwam out of birch bark and ended up with a soggy lean-to that collapsed under the weight of snow and his own romantic notions. The beavers, he discovered, were smarter than he was. They dismantled his traps with surgical precision and left him notes in the snow, little paw prints spelling, "Nice try, Brent." But Archie was stubborn. He grew his hair long, adopted buckskin, and began calling himself Grey Owl. He told stories around campfires that made grown men weep and children believe in magic. He spoke of ancient wisdom and the sacred bond between man and nature. He even convinced a few beavers to co-star in his lectures, though they mostly just chewed the
suitcase packed, books stacked, head in the clouds. Dreams of moccasins, rivers loud. Archie in the bush, but the bush pushed back. Moose eyes mocking, sky fading to black. Hastings heart in a frozen land. Birch bark palette callus turned to mush in his hands. Birch bark dreams, snow-soaked schemes, chasing shadows in the forest streams. Wigwam whispers, winter screams, lost in the wild with his noble dreams. Thought he'd hunt like the stories told, found the cold's bite sharper than gold. Beaver traps rusted, fingers numb, fire sputters, where's that drum? Milk cow moose and a soggy lean-to. Nature grinned, boy, who are you? Birch bark dreams, snow-soaked schemes, chasing shadows in the forest streams. Wigwam whispers, winter screams, lost in the wild with his noble dreams. Books don't teach you how to feel frost, how to count the cost of a dream half lost. Noble savage on borrowed land, traded pages for a calloused hand. Birch bark dreams, snow-soaked schemes, chasing shadows in the forest streams. Wigwam whispers, winter screams, lost in the wild with his noble dreams.
So let me get this straight. A British guy, Archie Belaney, shows up in Canada, grows his hair out, slaps on some feathers, and says, "I'm Grey Owl, half-Apache, protector of beavers." And Canadians go, "Oh wow, he's spiritual. He must be legit." No one thought to ask why this Apache spoke with a Hastings accent and couldn't start a fire without a manual from the Boy Scouts. This guy was the Elvis of ecological cosplay. He didn't just appropriate a culture. He built a career on it, wrote books, gave lectures, toured the country like a prophet in moccasins. And the kicker, he was trapping animals before he started saving them. That's like Jeffrey Dahmer opening a vegan cafe. But people ate it up, because we love a good lie wrapped in buckskin. It makes us feel better about bulldozing forests if a white guy with a fake name tells us nature is sacred. And when he died, the truth came out not indigenous, not Canadian, just a dude from England who read too much Kipling and thought, I could totally be a shaman. But people ate it up because we love a good lie wrapped in buckskin. It makes us feel better about bulldozing forests if a white guy with a fake name tells us nature is sacred. And when he died, the truth came out not indigenous, not Canadian, just a dude from England who read too much Kipling and thought, I could totally be a shaman.
The beavers he discovered were smarter than he was. They dismantled his traps with surgical precision and left him notes in the snow, little paw prints spelling, nice try, Britt. But Archie was stubborn. He grew his hair long, adopted buckskin, and began calling himself, Gray Owl. He told stories around campfires that made grown men weep and children believe in magic. He spoke of ancient wisdom and the sacred bond between man and nature. He even convinced a few beavers to co-star in his lectures. Archie in the woods thought he ran the plot. Beavers laughed him off, said, nah, you forgot. Paw prints in the snow, spelling jokes in code. Nice try, Brit, but this ain't your road. Hair grew wild, buckskin draped his frame. Rebranded himself, gave Gray Owl a name. Campfire tales made the tough guys cry. Kids saw magic flicker in the nighttime sky. Nice try, Brit, but the beavers don't quit. Breaking your traps, leaving notes that hit. Sacred bonds and wisdom flows. Man versus nature, that's how it goes. Beavers co-starred in his grand charade, chewing through the lies like a masquerade. Teach us they mocked your ancient creed, but their damn game strong can't match that speed. Archie spoke of harmony, hands in the air, while beavers built castles with the devil may care. Stubborn as the river, but the flow ain't stopped. Nature's the maestro, Archie just props. Nice try, Brit, but the beavers don't quit. Breaking your traps, leaving notes that hit. Sacred bonds and wisdom flows. Man versus nature, that's how it goes. Archie spoke of harmony, hands in the air, while beavers built castles with the devil may care. Stubborn as the river, but the flow ain't stopped. Nature's the maestro, Archie just props. Nice try, Brit, but the beavers don't quit. Breaking your traps, leaving notes that hit. Sacred bonds and wisdom flows. Man versus nature, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
But here's the real tragedy. The message was good. Save the beavers. Respect the land. Don't be a corporate parasite. But it came from a guy who built his pulpit on a pile of stolen identity and dead ruins. So yeah, Gray Owl helped conservation. But he also proved that in the West, you can lie your way to sainthood if you wear the right costume and hug a beaver. He was a carny of the highest order, and P.T. Barnum would have seen Gray Owl not as a fraud, but as a fellow craftsman, someone who understood that sometimes, to wake people up, you have to dress the truth in feathers and walk it across the stage.
Then came Anna Harrio, a Mohawk woman with more grit than a grizzly and a heart big enough to forgive Archie's nonsense. She saw through the costume, but not the man. Under the feathers and fiction, he was sincere. He loved the land. He loved the animals. And he was trying in his own bumbling way to make people care. She walked in like a whisper through the pines, eyes sharp as flint, heart soft as the tide. saw through his mask the feathers and lies. Under the feathers, a man stands bare, loving the land, breathing the air, trying, just trying to make us care. And a Hario with grit like a stone carried his nonsense but stood on her own. She forgave the man but not the throne. Under the feathers, a man stands bare, loving the land, breathing the air, trying, just trying to make us care. She saw the truth he fumbled to show. The animals sang where the rivers flow. Two hearts in the wild, learning to grow. Under the feathers, a man stands bare, loving the land, breathing the air, trying, just trying to make us care.
In the annals of Canadian history, there are few figures as paradoxical and as profoundly Canadian as Grey Owl. He was a man who told a lie so grand, so audacious, that it became a kind of truth, and in that truth he helped shape a nation's conscience. Archie Belaney was born in England, but he died a Canadian, not merely by passport, but by spirit. He came to this country not to conquer it, but to be conquered by it. The forests of Tamagami, the still waters of northern lakes, the silent industry of the beaver, these were his teachers. And like so many before him, he reinvented himself in the crucible of the wilderness. Yes, he claimed an indigenous identity that was not his. That deception cannot be excused, but it can be understood. For Belaney, the masquerade was not a costume. It was a calling. He believed that only by becoming Grey Owl could he speak for the voiceless, the animals, the forests, the fragile ecosystems already under siege by the engines of progress.
Together they raised orphan beavers, wrote books and toured the country. Grey Owl became a sensation. Canadians desperate for heroes who didn't wear neckties embraced him. He was the voice of the wilderness, the prophet of the pines, and then he died. And then they found out he wasn't indigenous, he wasn't even Canadian. He was Archie from Hastings, who'd once kept pet snakes and dreamed of buffalo. The scandal was enormous, but the beavers didn't care. The forest didn't care. He wore the name Grey Owl, a prophet of the trees, spoke for the rivers, the wind and the breeze, with the beaver by his side and a story to share. The forests listened, but the beavers didn't care. Oh, the beavers didn't care. No, the pines stood tall, the rivers kept flowing, the owls in his eyes, pet snakes in a jar, and buffalo skies. He wore another shadow, lived in the air, but the truth didn't matter. The beavers didn't care. The worldwide scandal tore him apart, but it couldn't shake the wilderness heart. Oh, the beavers didn't care. No, the pines stood tall, the rivers kept flowing, the sky covered all. Heroes fall and secrets wear, but the wild keeps turning. The beavers didn't care. Let the men with neckties write their despair. The woods still whisper, the wild still dares. The prophet's gone, but his voice lingers there. In the streams, in the shadows, the beavers didn't care.
You're real good at what you do, Archie. You know what? So am I.
Sure you are, Mr. Champlin.
I own a paper mill, a printing business, and a couple of book publishing firms. I am a rich man, Archie. Wouldn't you like to be rich?
Why would I want to be rich?
What you do is you write a book. An Indian's life in the forest. Same as your magazine pieces, only longer. It would make you famous.
Being famous doesn't interest me, Mr. Champlin.
You know how hungry people are out there for your world? The authentic voice from the wilderness.
And speak he did in an era when conservation was a foreign word. Grey owls stood before packed halls in London and Toronto and told stories of beavers as fellow citizens, of forests as cathedrals, of nature as something sacred. He was not a scientist. He was a storyteller. And in Canada, stories matter. He helped Canadians see their land not as a resource to be stripped, but as a legacy to be cherished. He made us look inward to ask what kind of country we wanted to be. Not just a northern outpost of empire, but a steward of something older, wilder, and more enduring. In the end, Grey Owl's greatest contribution was not his books or his lectures, but the seed he planted in the Canadian imagination. That our identity is bound not only to who we are, but to the land we inhabit and the stories we tell about it. And that, perhaps, is the most Canadian story of all.
Congratulations, Harry. Très bien.
Haven't seen you in a while, friend.
Couldn't make it last year. Too busy. Here's to my first bear.
You want Bear. You want Archie.
Salut, mon ami.
Here's a little something to remember me by.
Here you are. Archie Grey Owl.
Your guide wrote this?
The still hunt is an art perfected by the Indian, who has learned from childhood to move like a shadow, his actions smooth as oil, his senses set to a hair trigger. The forest is Argus-eyed.
This is an Indian? Writing in a magazine?
You want to know something? I'm not here just to hunt bear. This fellow could be a gold mine.
But here's the real tragedy. The message was good. Save the beavers. Respect the land. Don't be a corporate parasite. But it came from a guy who built his pulpit on a pile of stolen identity. and dead ruins. So yeah, Gray Owl helped conservation. But he also proved that in the West, you can lie your way to sainthood if you wear the right costume. Hug a beaver. He was a carny of the highest order, and P.T. Barnum would have seen Gray Owl not as a fraud, but as a fellow craftsman, someone who understood that sometimes, to wake people up, you have to dress the truth in feathers and walk it across the stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Something for the dancers. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening. Dancers. Thank you.
Oh, I never pay till I see the goods, buddy. How do I know if this war dance of yours is authentic?
The more you pay, the more authentic it gets.
Gray Owl would have been admired by P.T. Barnum, not in spite of his deception, but because of it. Barnum, the 19th century showman and master of spectacle, famously said, the public appears to be amused even when they are conscious of being deceived. And Gray Owl was the embodiment of that principle in buckskin. He was theatrical. He adopted indigenous dress, mannerisms, and mythology, constructing a persona that resonated with Canadian audiences yearning for spiritual authenticity. He wore the truth like a borrowed coat, frayed at the edges, but it still spoke. A story carved in borrowed stone, a face that felt like home. He walked with tales that weren't his own, but all the crowd, how they'd condone. Gray Owl dancing in disguise. The world was fooled, but loved the lies. A borrowed truth, a painted name. He played the part, we played the game. Buckskin threads and a mythic stare. He built a world that wasn't there, like smoke curling from a fire's breath, a dream alive, but born of death. He held a mirror to their eyes, and they embraced the sweet disguise. Gray Owl, Gray Owl, the spirit of the stage. Truth and fiction on the same page. A hollow voice, a soulful frame. He played the game, we played the game. Gray Owl, Gray Owl, the spirit of the stage. Truth and fiction on the same page. A hollow voice, a soulful frame. He played the part, we played the game.
tragedy. The message was good. Save the beavers, respect the land. Don't be a corporate parasite. But it came from a guy who built his pulpit on a pile of stolen identity and dead rodents. So yeah, Gray Owl helped conservation. But he also proved that in the West, you can lie your way to sainthood if you wear the right costume and hug a beaver. He was a carny of the highest order, and P.T. Barnum would have seen Gray Owl not as a fraud, but as a fellow craftsman, someone who understood that sometimes to wake people up, you have to dress the truth in feathers and walk it across the stage.
He wore the truth like a borrowed coat, frayed at the edges, but it still spoke. A story carved in borrowed stone, a face that felt like home. He walked with tales that weren't his own, but oh, the crowd, how they'd condone. Gray owl, dancing in disguise. The world was fooled, but loved the lies. A borrowed truth, a painted name. He played the part, we played the game. Buckskin threads and a mythic stare. He built a world that wasn't there, like smoke curling from a fire's breath, a dream alive, but born of death. He held a mirror to their eyes, and they embraced the sweet disguise. Gray owl, a spirit of the stage, truth and fiction on the same page. A hollow voice, a soulful frame. He played the part, we played the game. Barnum's admiration for Gray Owl would likely stem from the latter's mastery of public engagement. Like Barnum, Gray Owl constructed a persona that blurred the line between truth and fiction. He understood that audiences are drawn not to facts, but to stories. And Barnum understood that spectacle could be a tool for education, persuasion, and even social reform. That the power of a message often depends on the charisma of its messenger. He wore a mask of stories bold, a face that blurred the lies we're told. Truth and fiction dance so tight underneath the northern light. It wasn't facts they came to see, it was the man, the mystery. Gray owl's truth lived in the air. A web of words, a clever twist. Reality fades. Hey, don't resist. Teach the world through smoke and show. The louder the act, the more they'll know. Persuasion walks on a tightrope line between the showman and the sign. Spin the tale, light the flame. It's the power of the charisma game. Spectacle and soul collide. Hearts will follow where stories guide. Teach the world through smoke and show. The louder the act, the more they'll know. Persuasion walks on a tightrope line. He wore a mask of stories bold, a face that blurred the lies we're told. Truth and fiction danced so tight underneath the northern light. It wasn't facts they came to see. It was the man, the mystery. Spin the tale, light the flame. It's the power of the charisma game. Spectacle, and soul collide. Hearts will follow where stories guide. Barnum's eye caught the spark of flair. Gray owl's truth lived in the air. A web of words, a clever twist. Reality fades. Hey, don't resist. Teach the world through smoke and show. The louder the act, the more they'll know. Persuasion walks on a tightrope line between the showman and the sign. Spin the tale, light the flame. It's the power of the charisma game. Spectacle, and soul collide. Hearts will follow where stories guide. The implications of gray owl's deception are complex. On one hand, his appropriation of indigenous identity perpetuated stereotypes and obscured the voices of real indigenous conservationists. On the other hand, his work helped to popularize environmentalism at a time when few were listening. This duality mirrors Barnum's own legacy, a blend of exploitation and innovation, deception and revelation. Both men use performance to provoke thought, challenge norms and inspire change. He wore a name that wasn't his, borrowed feathers for the stage, a shadow walking through the mist, truth trapped in a gilded cage. Oh, gray owl, who were you? A light, a tangled view. You spoke for rivers, sky so blue. Oh, gray owl, who were you? He danced between the lines of fame, stole a mask, and then stoked a flame. While voices lost in winds of pine faded beneath the bold design. A savior's voice, a borrowed tune, a rising sun, an empty moon. Oh, gray owl, who were you? A light, a tangled view. You spoke for rivers, sky so blue. Oh, gray owl, who were you? Barnum's ghost would raise a glass, tip his top hat to a great showman who could blur the past. And through exploitation and revelation, truth was bent for innovation. He wore a name that wasn't his, borrowed feathers for the stage, a shadow walking through the mist, truth trapped in a gilded cage. Oh, gray owl, who were you? A light, a tangled view. You spoke for rivers, sky so blue. Oh, gray owl, who were you? He danced between the lines of fame, stole a mask, then stoked a flame. While voices lost in winds of pine faded beneath the bold design. A savior's voice, a borrowed tune, a rising sun, an empty moon. Oh, gray owl, who were you? A light, a tangled view. You spoke for river, sky so blue. Oh, gray owl, who were you? Barnum's ghost would raise a glass, tip his top hat to a great showman who could blur the past. And through exploitation and revelation, truth was bent for innovation. Barnum's ghost would raise a glass, tip his top hat to a great showman who could blur the past. And through exploitation dressed in a myth, wearing beaver pelt sails. Words dripped honey, a forest parade. Truth bent like branches, but the point stayed. He's the Barnum of the beaver. Truth we all believe, sir. Spin the yarn, weave it tight. Turn the wrong into right. PT with a hat, circus lights in his eyes. Made lions dance, sold dreams in disguise. Gray owls whisper, the wilds faint him. Barnum with a paddle, nature's phantom limb. Stories ain't numbers, they spark like flint. Dry hearts catch fire, stats barely glint. Ethics a shadow in a roaring blaze. Showmanship smoke left us amazed. He's the Barnum of the beaver, a truth we all believe, sir. Spin the yarn, weave it tight. Turn the wrong into right. So clap for the man with the crafted soul. Truth's a tricky beast, hard to hold. From the woods to the stage they believed. Barnum of the beaver, the hearts he feed. PT with a hat, circus lights in his eyes. Made lions dance, sold dreams in disguise. Gray owls whispers, the wilds faint him. Barnum with a paddle, nature's phantom limb. Stories ain't numbers, they spark like flint. Dry hearts catch fire, stats barely glint. Ethics a shadow in a roaring blaze. So clap for the man with the crafted soul. Truth's a tricky beast, hard to hold. From the woods to the stage, they believed. Barnum of the beaver, the hearts he thieved.
Gray's impact on Canadian environmentalism is undeniable. His writings remain influential, and his life story continues to provoke debate. In recent years, scholars and activists have re-examined his legacy, acknowledging both the harm of his deception and the value of his message. Barnum's hypothetical admiration for Gray Owl underscores a broader truth, that cultural icons are often constructed, not born, whether through circus acts or conservation lectures. He wore the feathers of a borrowed name, a trick of the light, a masterful game. Truth in his tales, though the man was a lie. A beaver's whisper, a loon's soft cry. Gray owl's ghost still walks the trees, through tangled roots and whispering leaves. A voice like water, flowing free. What's real or not, does it matter to me? Gray owl's ghost still walks the trees, through tangled roots and whispering leaves. A voice like water, flowing free. What's real or not, does it matter to me? He carved carved a story with a pen, not a blade. The lines were crooked, but the forest stayed. Deception's a fire, it burns or it warms. A man made of myths can weather the storms. Who owns the truth? Who holds the past? Does the message fade or for forever last? Gray owl's ghost still walks the trees, through tangled roots and whispering leaves. A voice like water flowing free. What's real or not, does it matter to me? Who owns the truth? Who holds the past? Does the message fade or forever last? Gray owl's ghost still walks the trees, through tangled roots and whispering leaves. A voice like water flowing free. What's real or not, does it matter to me? Icons are built from mud and dreams, shaped by rivers, not as they seem. A circus act or conservation plea. We see what we want when we choose to believe.
Aloud. So here's a story for you. Once upon a time, a British plumber named Cyril Hoskin wakes up one day and says, "You know what? I'm not Cyril anymore. I'm a Tibetan monk named Lobsang Rampa. I've got a third eye I can astral project, and I'm here to enlighten the West." And the West goes, "Oh wow, finally, a mystical guru who speaks English and lives in Surrey. You can't make this up except he did. He writes The Third Eye, a book full of spiritual wisdom, reincarnation, and mystical surgery, where they drill a hole in your forehead to open your cosmic Wi-Fi, and people eat it up. Bestseller translated into dozens of languages. Oprah would have booked him if she'd been around."
So what do we do with that? Do we burn the books, or do we admit that sometimes the truth wears a fake mustache and speaks with a British accent? I say this, if a plumber from Devon can convince millions he's a Tibetan monk, maybe the problem isn't him, maybe it's us. Maybe we need to stop outsourcing our souls to paperback prophets and start looking inward. Because the real third eye, it's not in your forehead, it's in your ability to see through the bullshit. Gray Owl and Lobsang Grandpa were both British-born men who adopted fabricated non-Western identities, indigenous and Tibetan respectively, to promote spiritual or ecological messages that resonated deeply with the public despite their deceptions. Do not to tell us the universe loves us. Do not others who are not just meat puppets on a rock spinning through space. And sure, sorry, Lobsang gave them that he lied, but he lied brutally. So what do we do with that? Do we burn the books, or do we admit that sometimes the truth wears a fake mustache and speaks with a British accent? I say this, if a plumber from Devon can convince millions he's a Tibetan monk, maybe the problem isn't him, maybe it's us. Maybe we need to stop outsourcing our souls to paperback prophets and start looking inward. Because the real third eye, it's not in your forehead, it's in your ability to see through the bullshit. Gray Owl and Lobsang Grandpa were both British-born men who adopted fabricated non-Western identities, indigenous and Tibetan respectively, to promote spiritual or ecological messages that resonated deeply with the public despite their deceptions. Do not have to tell us the universe loves us. Do not others who are not just meat puppets on a rock spinning through space. It's sure sorry, Lobsang gave them that he lied, but he lied brutally. So what do we do with that? Do we burn the books, or do we admit that sometimes the truth wears a fake mustache and speaks with a British accent? Owl and Lobsang Rampa were both British-born men who adopted fabricated non-Western identities, indigenous and Tibetan respectively, to promote spiritual or ecological messages that resonated deeply with the public despite their deceptions. Do not have to tell us the universe loves us. Do not others who are not just meat puppets on a rock spinning through space. And sure, sorry, Lobsang gave them that he lied, but he lied brutally. So what do we do with that? Do we burn the books, or do we admit that sometimes the truth wears a fake mustache and speaks with a British accent?
soft wind rustles the clouds. St. Peter is off to lunch. Gray owl arrives first, feather slightly askew. Beaver trailing behind, moments later lob saying rampa floats in. Robes billowing, third eye blinking faintly. Gray owl, I thought I'd be alone up here. Didn't expect to see another Englishman in costume. We are never alone, not in the astral plane, not in truth. We're still doing that, the whole I'm a Tibetan monk in a British body thing. I never stopped, the body was a vessel. The teachings were real, the people needed them. Same here, I wasn't born indigenous, but I spoke for the land, for the animals, for something bigger than myself. And they listened, that's what matters. Truth wears many masks. But we lied, you know they're right. We wore stolen skins, took voices that weren't ours. Yes, but we gave something back. You gave them beavers, I gave them meditation. We gave them wonder. The golden light flickers, the gates creak open slightly. A voice echoes, St. Peter. Gray owl, your heart was true, enter. We're still decoding your chakras. You got it. Eventually enlightenment is a long queue. Besides, I have a few more astral projections to finish. Well, I will save you a seat near the storytellers and maybe the skeptics. We have all our stories, my friend, even the ones we invent. Curtain.
Well, that's the story of Gray Owl, Archie Belaney. And if, Farley Mowat had been there, he would have raised a glass to the old fraud and he would have said, "Well done, Archie. You fooled the world into loving beavers, and that's no small feat." Good night, everyone. David L. Gordon, signing out.